Didn't you know that you're not allowed to be critical of anything with Marvel in the title? Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Come on, push the button!
Yeah, come on, push the button!
There's a reason why I'm hesitant to review most Marvel-related properties. That same exact reason is why I feel compelled to review them sometimes. It seems ironic, or maybe it's just fate, that this news would pop up just days after the Stephen Dorff incident. If you didn't know, Stephen Dorff criticized Marvel and then basically got attacked for it. But as of today, we have even more concrete evidence of people's inability to hear another person's opinion.
No shit.
Listen, folks, I try to be as positive as I possibly can be, but sometimes you just have to call out the bullshit when you see it. So IGN, the shill of all shill sites, had a writer named Siddhant Adlakha. I'm sorry if I butchered that, I'm doing the best I can.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Anyway, he's been doing episode-by-episode reviews of the Disney Plus series Loki. Apparently, he hasn't been giving them very favorable reviews, and in the most recent episode, I believe it's episode 5, he gave it a 5 out of 10. Oh, the humanity. It's pretty difficult to locate these reviews, and I'll explain why in a minute, but from what I can gather, his review basically was summed up in this. It's an episode that jogs in place and indulges in Marvel's worst tendencies. I also saw a separate review where he said that it was light on meaning. No, I haven't seen the show and I'm not going to presume to know anything about it, but given the track record, I can understand how you would say something like that. And again, it doesn't really matter whether I've seen the show and whether you like the show or whether this person doesn't like the show. That's not the point. The real problem here is that apparently some MCU fans were upset with his reviews and made their voices heard. They were complaining to IGN and possibly harassing this guy over a TV show review.
Why do you cry?
This right here is the biggest problem with this franchise. It has nothing to do with the movies or TV shows themselves. As I stated in my previous video on this matter, nothing is above criticism. Absolutely nothing. Especially not superhero movies that are designed to entertain you at the most basic level. It's one thing to disagree with a person, that's fine. But to disagree so much that you have to insult the person and also push to get him removed from his job, that's pretty low, and honestly, it kind of irritates me. And I think IGN is even lower for actually giving into this because they actually removed that review and replaced it with a more favorable review from someone else. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times, you cannot trust these websites, these corporations, and these people on social media to be unbiased. They always seem to have ulterior motives.
That makes sense.
If you look back, critics used to be people who had trusted opinions. When Siskel and Ebert said something, you might not have agreed with them, but you certainly listened to what they had to say. But in 2021, the battle cry is, let me bitch, moan, and complain until I get what I want. I'm willing to have an open mind about this. I mean, maybe the guy just wasn't enjoying the show and asked to be removed from the reviews. I could buy that if someone else just picked up where he left off and started reviewing the show on the very next episode. But when they legit remove a 5 out of 10 review and give it an 8 out of 10 in its place, that puts up a bunch of red flags to me. They're doing this to appease a few angry fans who can't seem to handle another person's opinion. And if you think this is an isolated incident, I assure you it's not. Just look at this comment on my recent Stephen Dorff video.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
All of that, questioning my intelligence, threatening to never watch me again. Does that sound like an open-minded person? And this was all because I said I wanted more creativity in movies. And that I didn't find superhero movies necessarily creatively stimulating anymore. This person finished off his comment by saying I'm showing my true colors. Yes, I did. I showed that I'm an honest person. I showed that I give a shit about the art of filmmaking. I showed that I will not be guilted or bullied into changing my opinion to appease other people.
Fuck me, right?
These are all things that IGN doesn't show. It really boggles my mind that these people are so quick to go and defend a company like Disney or Marvel or Lucasfilm or whoever it may be. And with the same quickness, they will actually shit on someone who actually cares about what they do, whether it be myself or some other critic out there. The crazy part is that I'm not even overly critical of these properties, and neither was this guy. We just point out flaws that we see from our perspective. That's what a critic's supposed to do. This is very important, and I want everyone to get away from this way of thinking. If you're so caught up in your fandom that you can't see things from a different perspective, then maybe you need to detach yourself from it, because clearly it's having a negative impact on your psyche. I've never asked anyone to agree with me about anything, and I never will. I want everyone to form their own opinion. And as long as you are respectful, I will have a conversation with you if you disagree with me. Hell, there's even been times where people have changed my mind on certain things. This is how people have been discussing movies and television since the beginning of time. People need to keep an open mind and realize that not everyone thinks the same way.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Criticism is subjective most time. That's kind of the point of it. But it's also important to remember what we're talking about here, and that's superhero stories. This stuff isn't life-changing. I'm sorry. You could either enjoy them or don't enjoy them for what they are. That's your choice. But you can at least be decent to people who don't necessarily agree with you. I was honestly considering never reviewing another thing from the MCU after WandaVision. But then I thought to myself, that means I'm giving in. And I have an obligation to the people who do listen to me and care about my opinion to be honest with them. Whether it be about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, or any property under the sun. The bottom line here is that whether you're a small YouTube channel or the biggest YouTube channel on the planet, if you want to criticize something, you have the right to do it. And don't let anybody ever tell you how to think or feel about anything. Don't let people with small minds talk down to you or affect the way you look at things. Your perspective is what makes you unique, and you deserve to share that perspective just like anybody else does. If people are upset about your opinion, then that's their problem, not yours. Everyone should be allowed to tell their truth. And if there's one thing that I learned being on YouTube, it's that your respect will come, and people who value your honesty will listen to your perspective no matter what. And those are the type of viewers and people you want to appease.
You son of a bitch.
So let me know what you thought about all this in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Sorry for the hostility.
Oh, I got a live one here.
Y'all be cool. Right on.